Hey everybody and welcome back to Podcast X. We haven't been here in a while. Obviously me and Dave have been getting back into work. Dave's got his new fitness challenge started, which I'm made up with because he's doing really well from it. Have you got anything you want to say about that, Dave, before we go into today's topic?
Just check it out, send me money. Check it out, give me views. No, in all seriousness. If anyone's struggling with the weight or with the image, watch my series. I'm on the third episode, but I've done like a week. So if you want to look at more on that, look on my channel. I'm not going to talk about it here because we're talking about something really kind of important today. So
Yeah.
if you want to get yourself educated on what I'm doing, go and check out my channel.
Alright, yeah, well, as I say, go check him out. Said me and Dave in the future, because obviously I am a gym instructor, said there will be a video with me and Dave working together when obviously things get back to normal, where Dave will come to my gym and we'll make sure we beast him. So,
He'll put me through my paces. He will.
that's the one.
Yeah.
Right, so obviously talking about, well, what you just said about money. Right, want to talk about what's been going on with this crazy Super League football. Now, myself, I'm absolutely disgusted in what's been going on. I'm ashamed of my football club of what's. I'm just completely ashamed of everything that's been a part. Like we're a part. John Henry for me is a cockroach. Needs to be.
Cockroach.
Yeah, he's a cockroach. I could
A
use
cockroach.
honestly, right. I could use much stronger words, but I'm trying to not swear. As you can imagine, I'm trying to
Right.
do it as well.
Okay.
Now, I don't see why they've done it, because obviously the football club itself is special and unique, especially Liverpool. I'd even class Manchester United as a special club as well in that sense.
It's very
And
questionable.
that is
Very
yeah,
questionable.
but that say look at this moment in time, it's not looking good. It really isn't. These look like they are going to be going into the Super League, because obviously there's been documents released and it does look like it could happen. But the only people who can stop it at the moment is the fans. So, myself, I'd be telling people to protest outside the grounds. That's what I think people should start doing. If a protest does happen, I will be there, 100%.
Shirt off, waving it in the air.
Won't hesitate. I won't have a Liverpool top on, that's for sure, until... Because honestly, at this moment in time, I really am frustrated. I believe that the players have got nothing to do with it as well, or the manager. They shouldn't be blamed. Last night, they were a bit... they were greeted by both Leeds and Liverpool fans last night, and they were all getting booed. Now, I think that was wrong. It's nothing to do with Jurgen Klopp. It's nothing to do with the Liverpool players. And it's the same goes for Manchester United and their players, and Man City and their players, all the clubs that have been affected. The players, the managers are not to blame. It's the people who are at the top, the owners, who are the ones who are the greedy, cheeky, I want to say the other word, but it's unacceptable what's going on. Absolutely unacceptable. And obviously, look, you're obviously a Newcastle fan. If you look at that, what would you... obviously, what you obviously a Newcastle fan. What would you, looking out of this as like someone who's not involved in it as much?
So from the out looking in, obviously, because obviously being a Newcastle fan and any fan below that threshold in the league, like Burnley, Crystal Palace, Southampton, any one of those, we enjoy watching the Champions League, and it's going to be strange to see not as many English teams operate, and I don't know how it's going to work, whether those big six can't be a part of the UEFA competition, so another six is chosen, or another 4 or 5 is chosen in the league. So maybe we could see teams like West Ham or Wolves or Southampton, or maybe even Newcastle one day playing in Europe, which would be brilliant. But from the outside looking in, I just think it's a really big risk to take in, and every club that has come forward and said they're going to do it. These are the owners speaking on behalf of the managers, the players, the physios, everyone at the club, and I guarantee that they do not speak for those people, because at the end of the day, the one of the biggest prizes in world football is the Champions League. It's going to Europe, and by playing those same 12 teams over and over again for the next how many years this competition could go on, it's going to get really boring. People aren't going to watch it. I wouldn't say if Liverpool got Real Madrid every single year, I wouldn't want to watch it. It's boring.
Yeah.
I'd want to see
It's
different
dead.
teams every year.
It's
So,
simple as it's dead, isn't it?
of
It's
course
not.
it is.
It's not
It's a
right.
dead concept, and I commend the clubs that have turned this down. But to the clubs that haven't and have agreed to it, the likes of Arsenal, Tottenham, Chelsea, Man United, Man City, Liverpool. I don't know if Man City are actually. I'm not too sure.
Man City.
They are. Okay, Liverpool. Liverpool shocked me the most. I didn't think they would. I didn't think they would be pushing for that. But they've gone with the whole this Super League is the future of European football. But when you've got 12 teams that take part in it, I mean, fair enough. If the whole world is involved, if all the teams in Europe are involved, obviously in the top tier leagues, then there's some sort of debate that could be made. Would they go with that, or would they scrap the Champions League? Personally, I don't see why they can't just
but why?
keep the Champions League the way it is and not have another competition.
If anything, said they should be improving the Champions League. They shouldn't be trying to downgrade it. It's been the last knockout football has been obviously without any fans has been. For me, it's been dead entertaining. I know, obviously,
it has been.
Look at that Borussia Dortmund game, Man City game the other night. Brilliant game. Brilliant game.
The Bayern and PSG, best game of the year so far.
There you go. I say exactly. And now
they're
taking them away. You're gonna take that factor away. Taking them 6 clubs who are like massive in world football. I understand that. Taking them away. These clubs that are like, I don't know, like your Newcastles, your Burnley. So, you know, when they beat like Liverpool, everyone's made up. Every single club is made up when they beat a big city.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely buzzing.
I've been made up when we beat Hughes this weekend.
Oh, there you go. So, to be honest with you, look, this is the first time in years, and I've been a Liverpool fan since I've been a kid. And this is the first time in years. Last night, so normally I was in work last night. So and normally I have obviously, I have it on. I shouldn't really say this, but I do have like little in this like in an office, and then I can obviously.
Oh, I do it at my work, mate.
Yeah,
I watch on the fly.
Yeah, I can jump in and out. It's obviously work, and then obviously I can just keep my eye on the match type of thing, see how the momentum's going. Last night I didn't watch it. I refused to watch the match. I say that's how fuming I am over this.
I think you speak for a lot of fans, Liverpool fans especially. They're not going to watch. They're going to turn off. They're not going to watch.
I think something that's really got under me. Well, obviously the only thing I did watch, to be honest with you, was Jamie Carragher and Gary Neville speaking about what's gone on with this Super League, and I am 100% backing them to obviously make their voices heard. It's unacceptable. And do you know what everyone's saying about Gary? I don't really like Gary Neville. I really don't.
Of course you don't, because you've got that Man United obviously confrontation, haven't you?
It's not. Look, it's not that I don't like the player. It's not that I don't like him, but you know, sometimes I think with his opinions on Liverpool, Manchester United, I think like, oh, for God's sake, you know what I mean? Shut your mouth, you know what I mean?
Well, of course, he's going to be biased, isn't he, towards Man United? He's biased towards Liverpool anyway because he doesn't like them. Rivals.
In this scenario, he is not wrong at all. He's not wrong.
No, he isn't wrong.
Another thing that's really got under my skin a little bit is, look, the owners need to be really, something needs to be happen to get them fined. I don't think the players and the manager need to be getting booed all the time. It's nothing to do with them. I think the owners, obviously we need to all get together and protest, I think, to make our voices more heard. I know with COVID going on, they're all saying you're not meant to. I get that. But if you want to, you know, it's not just going to affect football fans, this is going to affect the entire world. It's going to affect politics, it's going to affect...
Well, Boris Johnson said he's going to step in and stop it.
Yeah, and look, in another sense, why on earth, right, the Libercats, Conservatives, the Labour Party, why on earth would you have all them parties agree with each other? They never agree with each other.
And they agreed on this one.
And they all agreed on this one thing. It is absolutely disgusting. Said they need to do whatever they can to stop this. Obviously, there has been
I agree, mate. I agree.
There's been a lot of signs, but I think something that touched me on a personal level, obviously, Liverpool fans stuff with Hillsborough, and obviously Manchester United with Munich, said these owners, for me, have spat in the faces of these football clubs. They really have. They spattered. They don't know what we're about at all. So they're only interested in one thing, and that's money.
It's money.
But when I'm coming back to obviously Hillsborough disaster, community disaster. Do you know what? I have to admit, when these disasters have happened, all football clubs have come together to show their support, and that is amazing. So that's what football. And do you know what? That is what
football's all about. Yeah.
Exactly, that is what it's all about. And these owners, for me now, have caused this. And you know, they're on about trying to get like I hear Gary Neville talking about getting rid, scrap all the titles, scrap all the history, and obviously a lot of Liverpool fans are then putting RIP outside Anfield yesterday.
Yeah.
How can these owners turn around and do this? And we've had proper crazy disasters. We've had disasters, and we've all come together. We show our support as a community. We're all together, and these owners don't even understand how together we are. They don't. They just don't understand it. It's ridiculous. They want to go to Super League with 12 other clubs who are all money grabs. Barcelona, Real Madrid. They're all suffering financially. That's the only reason they want to go in this competition, because they know it'll save them. So in my opinion, everyone needs to pull out from the Premier League completely. There should be sanctions there. I wouldn't say take the Premier League titles off them. I'd deduct points for sure. I'd definitely be deducting points from them all. Every single one of them. And I also think that they should be excluded from Champions League football next year. And that's a big statement, I know, but I think they should be.
But I think we're so far along in the season now where I agree when you say about the Champions League next year, they can't play in it. But I think with the points the way it is, I don't think it really matters how many points you take away. Man City's still going to win the league, and all the teams are probably going to finish where they were going to finish either way. But I totally agree they shouldn't be playing in Champions League next season. The teams that have agreed, obviously, or teams maybe that weren't, or they can choose the next 6 teams down, and they can be representing the Premier League in Europe. It's only fair because at the end of the day, everyone has a goal in the Premier League. All the teams have a goal, whether that's to make Champions League, whether that's to take mid-table, or it's to avoid getting relegated. It would be nice to see some teams in Europe that you wouldn't necessarily see. Like I said, Wolves, Southampton, Fulham, all those teams. So I think you touched on it very briefly earlier that a lot of the owners speak for a lot of the fans. On behalf of the fans, but there are fans out there that want this, and there's always going to be a war of words between I don't want this, we want this, and that's where you're going to get these heated debates. And
you will get them debates, but in my look, you're a Newcastle fan, and obviously I know there's not more people in here to talk about this today, which there will be in the future. Or if this does go ahead, because I'll be boycotting it every single time it's on the bleeding telly. If it does go ahead, now you're a Newcastle fan. You know it's wrong. It's wrong. This is the problem that we've got. This is millionaires, billionaires football. This is the rich taking football to a different level. It's not us. We've got nothing to do with it as football fans. It's the rich being greedy, and the poor are getting poorer. Simple as. So let's see. It's happened all around. It's happened for the last few years, and this one is a massive, massive blow. If this goes ahead, the world of football will be destroyed.
And I totally agree, mate. And I've got to hold my hands up and applaud the way UEFA have tackled this. Where they've, because honestly, FIFA, UEFA, they're wild beasts in business, and they're very difficult to reason with. Like with Man City's ban in Europe, they got that overturned within 2 months or 3 months, what it was. And everyone thought it was a lot of corruption, but with how they've dealt with this situation, because this is a completely different organisation that's bringing this to the table. UEFA have tackled the situation really well. They've dealt to these teams that are going to be a part of this competition, because personally I think it will go through. I think this competition will go through because the billionaires are going to focus, like you say, on the money and stuff, and but that's where fans shouldn't attend the games, and that's where fans shouldn't buy the merchandise, and that's where fans shouldn't buy TV sport subscriptions to watch their team. They should cancel their season tickets. But there are still going to be fans out there who do agree with it and will still buy the merchandise and will still go to the games.
Either way, these fans aren't. Look, for me, these fans aren't real fans. They are not real fans. I say, after time, see that's what I'm saying. When I'm saying millionaire footballers, so this is where you'll have millionaires watching the game. It's like when you see on movies and stuff, and they're like, you see it on movies, don't you? When the rich are all watching their game and the poor are all watching their game. It's always been that way. It's always been rich versus poor. It's always been that way. It's been fingered in movies so many times. It's been all over your face. It's happening. It's happening now with obviously like Labour Party, Conservatives, the Democrats. It's happened with all them. It's always the same thing. So for me, look, if there's a time to stop something like this going on, it's right now.
Yeah, I agree.
As fans of football, we need to make all our voices heard, and we need to.
Of course, we do. Even fans of teams who aren't in this contention should.
Exactly, they need to be heard. Listen, the football pyramid is going to be absolutely.
It's going to be affected. The whole pyramid's going to be affected.
The beauty of the Premier League, right? The beauty. All these good leagues. I know obviously we're the biggest one at the moment because obviously how much money we bring in and stuff, but you know. The beauty of it is a League 2 side can go all the way up to the Premier League. And it can change like that. So
it can. Look at likes of Leicester, likes of Bournemouth. You know,
even look at Swansea. I know that obviously they're not in the thingy now. And I know they're not in the thingy now, obviously, but look at Swansea City last few years. So, I know obviously they're back in the Championship, they're challenging for obviously going back up and stuff, but. Look what they've done the last few years, like in the last 10 years.
Under Brendan Rodgers. Yeah,
there you go.
You know, and that's what we strive to. That's what we look forward to. What?
Hey guys, just to let you know, since I'm sorry about that. Halfway through the video, Dave's internet just went off completely, so that's why it just jumped a little bit there. So sorry about that. Go back to the video.
So Dave, what would your thoughts be said in how they would? I don't really want to say it, but. How would you think that they should do this Super League? If they want to make fans obviously try and
there's a much easier way, and I think a lot of fans will be behind it. You have the Champions League, which is the pinnacle of European football, and all the teams around the Europe will be in contention to win the Champions League trophy. Then you've got the Europa League. You've got teams that have just missed out on Champions League qualification, but can get to the Champions League next year by representing their team in Europe. The European Super League should be about the teams that can't get into Europa League, the teams below that. Given those teams teams in France like Bordeaux, when they were a superpower, give them a chance to. This could be a chance for them to get into Europa League. You know, because then you've got 3 tiers of European competitions. You're giving all these teams a chance of getting into Europe. And it gives fans a chance to watch these teams in Europe and see what it's like. So eventually, when teams...
In a quick thing, with what you're saying is, say like if the Europa League places, so if you say, I don't know, is it 2 or 3 teams go in there?
I think it's 2 with 3 as a maximum if they win the FA Cup.
So in your sense, if you took so obviously them first 3 go up, and then all the rest of the teams from... would all go into that league for like a short-term league and then play each other to get that final place.
Oh no, what I mean is so you've got the top 4 places getting Champions League potentially. Then you've got 5th and 6th getting Europa League. I think from 7th down to 10th, you should have those places for an extra European competition, and that's what this competition should be about. But it should be the same across all the leagues in Europe, like it would be for the Champions League and Europa League. So you usually have the likes of PSG winning.
The problem is with that though. Say it's the players are all obviously complaining about obviously how many matches they play. So that means if you're gonna do something like that, you're gonna have to get rid of an FA Cup. You're gonna have to get rid of the League Cup.
We'll get rid of the Carabao Cup. There's nothing. What's the Carabao Cup?
Oh,
you know,
it's one of the, but then it's one of the things if you win it, if you win the Carabao Cup, you win the League Cup, so you're absolutely buzzing because you've won a cup.
Oh yeah, I mean if you're a lower league team, if you're a lower team in the Premier League rather, and you do win the Carabao Cup.
Look, even myself as a Liverpool fan said I was always made up seeing Liverpool win the FA Cup, the League Cup. So,
believe me, if Newcastle won the Carabao Cup, I'd be throwing my shirt off and running naked down
Yeah.
the street, mate. You know,
Well,
but that will never happen.
I do get what you're saying.
Because then it gives teams a chance. You know what I mean? Teams who wouldn't necessarily have a chance. Yeah, like a different format.
Yeah, I understand that. So that's it.
Or even because one thing that I would like to see more of is the European teams playing teams from South America and North America, right? Because you only usually get that at the Club World Cup, don't you? Where you get the best team from the Americas and everywhere else, so the rest of the world, and Europe. Obviously, we had Liverpool, and then you had, was it Fluminense or someone like that?
Yeah, I think they played each other.
They played each other at some point in that competition. That's what they should do. They should make a competition that's free for many teams to go in. Maybe then you could have like the pinnacle, like maybe the top 3 teams or top 4 teams from every league in the world in a format. Do you know what I mean?
I was talking to a lad this didn't work, and obviously we're both against this Super League idea and stuff. But obviously we were trying to also think of a way of, if it was going ahead, of changing the format in some form of way. Now, what I thought myself was the Super League, right? So every time, obviously, look, normally when they win the Champions League, right? You can then go into the Super Cup then. What the Super Cup that is called Super Cup, that isn't it?
Super Cup, yeah.
Yeah, and then they can go on to then if they want to win the Club World Cup, just like Liverpool did the other
yeah,
you know, the year before. Now, I was talking to this lad about it, saying, well, what if every team who won the Champions League was then given a seeded place in the Club Super World, you know, that this super crazy whatever it is, they were then seeded into that. So and obviously every single team, I know it might not work, but I say every single team who wins it, because it doesn't change nearly every year. It's very hard to retain the European Cup, which I know like Real Madrid have done, and obviously in the past, and Bayern Munich. Every time they win obviously the competition, or they win the Champions League and the Super Cup, then they enter into this league. So it all depended on if they win that, or if they win the Europa League and then they win the Super Cup, then they go into it. And then in the next 6 years, so like every time, like a World Cup's every 4 years, 6 years.
Yeah.
So is it?
Yeah.
Every 6, just it won't be clashing with the World Cup, but every like
in between Euros and the World Cup.
Yeah. And then obviously but then for me, then you're gonna have to get rid of your league. Probably your league cups, which is, I do love the FA Cup because the magic of the FA Cup is really special. But then you're gonna have to get rid of one of them, which I'd rather get.
Well, you'd have to get rid of the League Cup.
Yeah,
because the FA Cup's away into Europe essentially.
There you go. So there you go. So there's another place. But that's what I was talking to his lad about, and he said that's not a bad idea to try and, if you did do something like that, and then it'd feel a bit more fairer, and then you'd have that thing where it's all right, all the best teams in the current stature who've won it the last few years, all against each other to win this maximum prize of being the best of the best, which
I agree with what you're saying. Yeah, I do.
So that's I think that something like that could work, but I don't think going into do this now, what they're doing with it now, where there's no relegation or anything, is the right way of going about it. But I haven't said that it shouldn't go ahead anyway.
I agree. I don't think it should.
The formula of the Premier League, all the different leagues, the football pyramid, is perfect just the way it is.
Why broke what ain't fit? No, why fix what needs to be? Well, isn't broken.
Exactly.
I nearly got my words out then.
The best thing about football. The best thing about football is, even me and you both know ourselves, that if we were good enough, at least if we were good enough, or we were, I'm not saying we were, because we really wasn't, but at least as a footballing person, you could still, if you could train hard enough, you could still see, I know it's a small line, but you can still see some progression of getting into professional football. With this coming, that's straight out the window, completely straight out the window. And
well, there you go. We
need to do something about it. So I'm going to make sure that podcast X is a voice in the opinion of getting rid of it. I'm going to make sure my own channel as well, Pure News and Gaming, is going to be against it as well. So, and obviously Dave's obviously doing his fitness at the moment, so you might see a video of him telling the Super League to
maybe it might be
off.
mentioned. Might be mentioned. We'll see.
Yeah. So, yeah, but obviously we've hit the 25-minute mark. If you obviously want us to talk about this again, said I am happy to talk about this again, and get my voices opinions across. And if anyone wants to come on and speak to us in the next few weeks about, because this isn't going away anytime soon.
No,
it's definitely not going away. It's going to be here for a few weeks. So if anyone sees this video and wants to join us, obviously in the comment section down below, get in touch with us, leave a comment, and we will get you in and talk to us. Obviously, we can have a load of different participants in this app to talk to, so we can talk to multiple people. Obviously, we're not going to have hundreds if we ever did, but we'll try and pick 4 or 5 like guests if it ends up like that.
Possible.
If possible, yeah. All right. So it's a bye from me, and it's obviously a bye from Dave. We hope to see you. I'll see you all again, obviously, very soon. And obviously, please keep in touch with David and keep an eye on his fitness video so far. He is doing really well.
Lost 6 pounds.
There you go, and you've just got to keep it up.
And I put it back on in water. I've put like 6 pounds of water. Oh fuck! I've fallen. Oh god.
But as I say,
it's all gone wrong.
As I say, let's see. It's just about keeping it updated best you can, and obviously then,
you know, mate,
you'll see your reward. All right. So
that's
everyone,
no more.
Take it easy. Take it easy, and I'll see you again soon. See you later. Bye.